team yesterday.
Thought you were still going back to Julio again.
No, as you rank those front offices that right now, maybe have to do the best job. I forget what the headline was, how it was framed, but this is like vastly and super important to them. And you had Jerry and Justin at number 4 on that list as far as the importance of this trade season.
I don't think it was like a ranked list like that. I think you could make the argument it was the executives with the most at stake at this trade deadline. And I think you could absolutely make an argument that the Mariners are number 1. I'm going to go through some numbers here. And I do my research for this segment, guys, because I want to be informed. And I was absolutely appalled when I saw just how bad the Mariners have been over their last 17 games. They've scored more than 4 runs 3 times. They have scored the fewest runs over the last 17 games, and we're coming up on a month now. The fewest runs in Major League Baseball. Their 31.3% strikeout rate is the highest in the big leagues. Their 194 batting average is the lowest by 20 points. Their OPS is 600 as a team. The entire Mariners lineup right now is hitting like a group of backup catchers. It's bad. And if you want to talk about what's at stake, it gets back to what we have addressed so many times on this show and in this segment. And it's that the Mariners are in the middle of a window where they need to take action because you cannot let this pitching go to waste. And so all eyes are on them right now. And if ever there is a time, I'm not going to say to make a rash move. I'm not going to say to make a dumb move. I will say to make an aggressive move. That time is now.
So let's talk about what that means. They had an opportunity to maybe try to bury the Blue Jays this past weekend and failed to do that in one of the worst losses you'll ever see on Sunday. So maybe the Blue Jays sell, maybe not. We've had some other names come up, and I'm kind of curious your philosophy on guys that aren't big names but do have better numbers than some of the players that are. And a name that surfaced, I think it was David Schoenfeld who brought him up, who I think most people are unfamiliar with him, including myself, was Lamont Wade Jr., right? Guy who's got an OPS well over 800.
Gets on base.
Gets on base.
But it's the on base that's it's like 450.
I mean really impressive. He's what Ty France is supposed to be. Are guys like that?
I think that's a really good,
Are guys like that real, or are they fool's gold? Like, what do you make of those sorts of guys who just sort of seem to exist without any real publicity, but maybe are exactly what this team needs?
Oh, I think Lamont Wade doesn't have publicity because A, he plays for a mediocre team, and B, he's 30 years old and just hasn't ever done it. I mean, this is a guy who still has kind of 1 year with full-time at-bats in the big leagues, and that was with the Giants last season. And, he got on base a lot. But up to that point, we just, we hadn't seen that skill at the big league level. So what you begin to wonder is, okay, how real is this? And more than how real, how sustainable is it? Is it going to be one of those things where we go out and get a guy and we target him because of his numbers and the numbers crater because, by the way, this is not something that he's done throughout his career? Or is that a value hunt right there and something where you're willing to take on that risk? If I'm the Mariners, I'm going for the sure thing, right? It's not about name. It's about production. It's about consistency. It's about reliability. It's about not wasting these swings that you're taking. And yes, Lamont Wade Jr. would fit wonderfully into this lineup right now. But is he the best option? I don't know about that.
Tell me what a sure thing is in baseball. I'm very curious to know about a sure thing in this game where nothing seems to be sure at all. What is the closest available option to a sure thing?
I mean, Luis Roberts has done it for multiple years now, at least, right? Like we know what he is. Or do you not see him as a sure thing?
I mean, I don't know if he's a sure thing to be on the field.
That's reasonable. But I'm just, I'm focusing on production right here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is JD Martinez a sure thing? I don't know if the Mets are going to be moving anyone at this point.
Were J.P. Crawford and Julio Rodriguez sure things for 2024? Because last year, Passan, they combined for a 10.3 WAR.
Yeah.
Last year, those two guys combined for a 10.3 WAR. They are on pace this year for a 4.1 WAR. That is a swing of over 6 games. Help me make that make sense.
Dude, help me make that make sense. Trust me, I'm with you. I've got 5,000 words writing on it. And I'm losing bad.